Alright guys, back here with another deck profile, and this time we're right out of the regionals, top 8, Marcus Cantarsi, captain of the Team Shenron's Lair, the team I'm on currently, and I'm stoked that we got 2 of us in top 8, and this time he's playing the only Trunks deck in the top 8. I didn't see many Trunks being played around, and yeah, he managed to make it. You gonna say anything, Marcus?
Yeah, so I'm Marcus, as Trey said. I run Shenron'sLair.com, and I was the only Trunks player that I saw throughout the field, but I'm sure there was a couple others. But yeah, I really like the Trunks leader compared to Hirudegarn or SS3. I think it's in a really good spot in the meta, and I think my results kind of proved that it's definitely a contender. So let's go straight into my deck. So right off the bat, we already know we're going to play with the Intensifying Power Trunks. Just an awakening tool that gives you critical, but what he's mainly used for is, as we will see later on, you evolve Chain Attack onto him to play Zeno. And yes, I do play Chain Attack Zeno, so he's a very good utility card. I tend to never play him early game. I would always play him when I have 3 energy, 2 red, 1 blue. Or you would play him when you have a flute, so you could bring him back to your hand, because you want to protect him. You want to make sure he's good to go when you have Chain Zeno ready. After that, we have Sankabas. These are my finisher cards most of the time. I will generally get my opponent down to 4 life with leader swings, and once they're down to 4 life, all I need to do is just a Kaba swing, combo up to 50,000-60,000, flute the Kaba back, do it again. And that's usually enough to win the game. So Kaba's a really good finisher. Then I have 3 Bodyguard Legics. I don't run 4, I think 4 is a little too much, and 2 is a little too little with all the combo Gohans going around. It's a great card to play. So an example would be on my turn 1, I'll charge a red or blue energy, I'll swing with my leader, and then my opponent will play combo Gohan. And so they will protect their life because they think I'm a very aggro deck. But now I get to play my Bodyguard Legic, swing into the Gohan, and if they try to protect that, then they're losing a lot of cards from their hands, and it's usually worth it if they try to protect it. So, and late game, he also comes into play a lot when your opponent has a board and you don't, and once again they're at 4 life, you can play a Legic, swing to their leader, see if they Senzu Bean or not. If they don't, you say no combo, flute the Legic back, play it, do it again, just keep, going at them one at a time, one 15k attack at a time, try to bring him down to 2 life, and then from there finish with the double strike. And the double strike cards are obviously Furning Destruction Champas. We play with 3. With Trunks you draw into a lot of cards, so you generally always have it when you need to, so yeah. And then I play 4 Chain Attack Trunks because I want to play Zeno. The whole point of the deck is that with the Trunks leader, I awaken my opponent really fast. So if they're playing an SS3 leader, all I need is a 2 leader swings or a Kaba swing, and they'll start awakening, and I'll still be at 6 life. So then I'll play the Trunks and Chain Attack Zeno into it, and then I will awaken with my leader, and now all of a sudden I have 7 cards to their 5, and then I just snowball out of control after that. One of the main combo pieces of the deck is Unbreakable Goku. A lot of times I'll just charge my first energy, swing with leader, combo Unbreakable, get a double draw with my leader effect, and so I don't go down in hand size. In fact, I go up 1, and my opponent takes the damage. And if they try to play combo Gohan into play, they'll have to pitch another card on top of that to protect themselves from the damage. And I have only 1 Foreseeing Hit. In case I come across those decks that play the longer game, we see a lot of mono blue control coming around. Just 1 is enough for me. Usually the games don't go to 4 or 5 energy, and if they do, those are games where you're losing. But there are a lot of games where I will play him on 4 energy, see if my opponent has negates and stuff, and then I could swing and Unyielding to bring back energy. And based on their hand, I have enough information to know if I should play a little bit more riskier and do some moves that I would not usually do. So he's really good to get some info on your opponent's hand, but most of the time you don't really play him. And same thing with Burst Attack Gohan. Really good off the Zeno. Both cards are actually really good off the Zeno. Burst Attack is a little bit more playable just because he only costs 3 energy. After you play a Zeno and you play Burst Attack, you're down to 4 cards, you swing, draw 2, and then you can swing with your leader and all that stuff. Just have a massive hand advantage. And at the end of the day, the game is still all about, you know, power and hand advantage, right? Alright, so now let's...
You could play either one of those at multiples,
Yeah, I could probably play more burst attacks rather than hits, because getting to 4 or 5 energy was really rough. Like I said, most of the time it ends before that if your game plan is going correct. Usually on 4 is when you win. You never like tap out on
so
4.
good.
Yeah, burst attack's really good. Now let's go to the blue cards that give the deck utility. 4 legendary flutes. It's the card that defines the meta right now. You know, there's tons of plays you can make with it. I mean, you can flute the Legic's back, flute your Kaba's back, flute the Trunks' back. I mean,
You can flute Iron Hammer of Justice, or Yajirobe's.
There was a time my opponent played a Yajirobe and he was at 2 life, and I only had a Scientist Fu. I played the Scientist Fu, flute their Yajirobe, swing for game. And yeah, the utility it gives you is insane.
Card is so good.
Right. And then we have 4 Senzu Bean, standard retap energy. Senzu Bean is actually really good on the defense too, because once again, there's a lot of combo Gohans out there, and when you play a Senzu Bean, it doesn't matter if they have 2 or 3 of them out there, it usually shuts down all their attacks. Your opponent doesn't invest too much into each attack. And if they do, you already have like an 8 card hand, so, and you have a lot of 5Ks, so you could easily just protect yourself. With just 1 Senzu Bean, that's usually good enough to protect yourself for the turn. Then I played only 2 Whis Coercions. It wasn't very necessary, but I like to have that protection. I'm kind of scared of like the hyper aggro decks, and sometimes just 1 blue is enough to stall it for a turn. But mainly at all costs Vegeta, which is a triple striker that can come out of nowhere for relatively cheap.
That card's insane.
Yeah, tough to beat that. And or Mira, Creator, Absorb, if they swing in with that, you know, you need to have negates for those. It didn't come out very often, but at the end of the day, it's a one energy negate, comes into play when you need it to be. I only played 2 Maya as well. I think Maya is really good against kind of the hyper aggro decks, but we've been seeing that less and less. So I do play more in my side deck, and against those matchups I will put in Maya, because a blocker is hard for them to remove. But against a lot of the control SS3s, Mayas don't really do anything, so that's why I only played 2. 4 Unyieldings, one of the best cards of the deck, to be honest. It extends your plays so much.
And you get to draw.
And you get to draw with your leader ability. So you could play your Kaba, take a life, swing, Unyielding, you draw a card, so you never went down on hand size, and now you still have your energy open, and you're swinging with the 20,000 double strike, and then you flute it back, do it again, and you know, do all the fun stuff. I only played with 3 boost attack Piccolos and 1 powers combined Kibito Kai. I thought it was worth tech. I played a lot against Danny Hype online, and he was playing Universe 7 Gohan, which is a deck that combos a lot. And I figured that having a super combo that on the offense is the same thing as a boost attack, but on the defense, it could act as like a Jocko and a super combo. It gives me a 20k advantage on the defense. I gain 10 and they lose 10. So I figured I'd just tech 1 inside my deck, but I wouldn't play more than 1. I think 1 is just right, because you don't want to come across situations where you'd rather have the draw on defense, but now you don't. So just 1 is fine, and most of the times I did use it on offense. There wasn't a time today where it came in clutch or anything. It did come in clutch once at like a local a week ago, but yeah, that's it. And then obviously Zeno. The whole deck centers around Zeno. As I said earlier in the video, you want to awaken your opponent's leader as soon as you can, but don't go too aggressive with the Kabas. You want to basically awaken them with your leader swings. So swinging with your leader and playing a furthering on turn 1 is totally okay in my book. You just put the pressure on them, make them awaken, and then when you have 3 energy, you play your Trunks, swing, Senzu Bean, untap the 2 red, chain attack evolve, Zeno, and now you have, you know, 5-6 life, and they have 4, but they already awakened. So you're gonna get your 2 life cards into your hand and your awakened leader to your hands. The advantage is great. Then my overwhelm cards are 2 Scientist Fu, very standard. Today I was playing with them very aggressively. When they're at 4 life, I would just play Scientist Fu, swing, combo to 40,000, 50,000. And if they protect themselves, they lost like 5-6 cards out of their hand. But if they don't, they're down to 2, and now I could play a Kaba, Flute Kaba, and try to finish the game that way. Now my last card, personal attack, is Time's Choice Supreme Kai. I really like it because early game, if you kind of brick and you don't draw the cards that you want, like let's say you're missing a Intensifying Power Trunks or you're missing a Zeno, you could overwhelm for 3, which is a very low cost, and you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and you fish for it.
You're digging for Zeno.
Right, you're digging for any card that you need. There are times where I say I really need an Unyielding, so I'll play it and look at my top 3, and most of the time it's there. 3, it's better than 2, right, compared to Time Patrol Trunks. So I like looking at the top 3 cards and then finding the piece that you need, bringing it to your hand, and then you could also flute it back. So if you do it really early, you could just overwhelm, get a card, flute it back, draw.
I still think I like Time Patrol a little better, but maybe that's me.
Time Patrol would be great,
because you can grab these cards.
Yes, so that's
just in case you need them, yeah.
That's the trade-off. That with Time Patrol, you could get a flute or a beam. With Time's Choice, you get to see 1 extra card from all the others. So
either one.
Yeah. Overall, my matchups were great. I didn't play against much Rudegarn, which is also a 50-50 matchup. But against a lot of SS3s I played today, like out of my 8 rounds, 6 of them were SS3. And a lot of them were playing the control variant. Mono blue control is fairly easy. Blue green is surprisingly really easy. Blue red is a little tough though, because red plays a really good post Zeno game. So when you play Chain Attack Zeno onto them, and if you can't kill them that turn, then on their turn, they play with cards like Kefla that recharge their hand, or they'll play Foreseeing Hit, or even Burst Attack Gohans. So after a Zeno, they'll always recover really fast. So against blue-red, it's a little bit riskier. I think against blue-red, you need to finish them off in like 2-3 turns and be really aggressive. And that's what I tried today in the top 8. And I got 1 game, but I lost the other 2. So
to Colby, yeah.
Right, to Colby from KTM.
The red-blue version.
Right. But overall, it's a really fun deck. I highly recommend you guys to try it. It could be defensive when it needs to be. It could be really offensive when it needs to be. But if you can, try to aim to change Zeno on 3 energy or 4 energy. Or try to end the game on your 4th energy with your 1-drops. But don't ever overextend by going in early with your 1-drops. You don't want to leave them on the board. You don't want to give them cards without needing to. You want to end the game with those guys. So.
All right, thanks for the deck profile, Marcus, and please, guys, check out ShenronLair.com and check out you can make deck profiles, check out the articles. There's a lot of stuff. Guys, deuces.